In this week's episode of One Piece, the Dressrosa arc is officially over, and Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hat crew are getting ready to go on another adventure with Bartolomeo and his fanboy crew. These guys have a ship which is completely modeled after Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates, and it's absolutely hilarious. A fanboy's dream gone wild. The Straw Hat Pirates wanted posters are also updated finally with even bigger bounties and brand new portraits, some of which are quite confounding, such as Sanji's, where he's only wanted alive. And let's not forget that Don Quixote Doflamingo is being taken to Impel Down, but he might not make it there because there's a group of evil, ominous pirates on the horizon, as we are formally introduced to the gargantuan Jack and his mammoth pirate ship. Despite being outnumbered, Jack decides that they're gonna go in and start kicking some ass. Manga readers should be especially excited. Jack is going to be one of the craziest characters introduced in the series. Do not underestimate this guy. I also have to say that this week's episode of One Piece was interesting, getting to see a side of Doflamingo we've never seen. An animal in a cage. He is actually really pissed off, but he knows that by being locked up, this is just going to be the beginning of one of the biggest conflicts in pirate history. I have to say the Marines are really nice for giving him a new pair of glasses. Honestly, I think they're being too damn nice. Let's go back to the Straw Hat Pirates for a minute and talk about some of their wanted posters. First up is Luffy. His bounty is now ridiculously huge. It's 500 million, which is pretty damn insane. But right behind him is Usopp, who now has like 200 million because of his exploits in Dressrosa. And it's really funny because his poster is him just shitting his pants. Speaking of which, back in Dressrosa, they're making giant statues for Kiros, Luffy, and even Usopp, believe it or not. And the pose that they have him in is just him being completely freaked out and his tongue just constantly waggling out. Usopp is without a doubt the most legendary badass coward I've seen from any anime series. I like the fact that Brooks is the most unique out of all of them because, of course, it basically just looks like a poster for a concert, which is really fitting for Brooke personally. Nami's has been updated. Who knows where that picture came from, but nice. And Chopper's looks really funny, but Sanji's is the most interesting because not only is his artwork updated, it doesn't look goofy as hell anymore, even though it still looks goofy as hell. It's interesting because it's the only one that says only alive. Everything else is just dead or alive. So clearly there is someone out there who has big plans for Sanji. We'll just have to wait to see how that materializes later on in the storyline. But I love the ominous factor there. And speaking of ominous, there are some other cool things about this episode that go by so quick and you might actually miss them. First of all, we finally get to see Cypher Pole or Cypher Pole Aegis Zero. This is this other group like similar to CP9, and just like them, we get to see some returning members. It's very obvious who they are. There could be only one character with a long, pointy, square nose, and that's, of course, Kaku the Giraffe Man. But we also get to see the return of Spandam, but we also get to see the return of Rob the frickin' Leopard Lucci. That is right! That is awesome. I love that he is coming back into the show. He's such an amazing character. Without a doubt, his fight with Luffy was probably still the most exciting battle from the One Piece series, so his return is incredibly welcome. It's obvious it's him. You can tell from the outline, not to mention that very distinctive goatee that he has, also with Kaku and Spandam being there. It looks like these guys have been upgraded, and I can't wait to see how they're going to utilize them into story, and we might actually see that a little bit sooner than later, because at the very end of this episode, we start to get to see this tease for a One Piece filler arc. Now, pump your brakes. I know this might sound like a bad idea, but honestly, I want there to be a filler arc right now because the filler arcs in One Piece are usually not all that long, and they usually are there to tie into a brand new film. And it just so happens there's a new One Piece movie coming out, One Piece Film Gold. And this arc is known as the Silver Mine arc, and apparently it is going to have some connections with that, and there is the possibility that Rob Lucci and Cypher Pole might actually play a role in that movie. So everything might be connected here, and the planets just aligned perfectly on this moment. All I know is The hype is real in this episode. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? What I can say is that thank God Dressrosa is finally over. I'm just so sick of all of that, and the first half of the episode is mostly dominated by everyone in Dressrosa just sort of picking up the pieces. The Tontada tribe, Rebecca, blah blah blah, Violet's dance. It's all just the same shit that we've seen before. Once we get away from that, the rest of the episode is infinitely more interesting, with the introduction of some brand new characters and all of the build-up for shit that's going to be happening with the wanted posters, with Sanji's being only alive, Jack being introduced into the series for the first time. This character is going to be so cool, you guys. Not to mention seeing the return of some classic CP9 characters, and then right after that, boom, we're already getting ready to start the brand new arc of the series. This was a great episode of One Piece, and I'm actually looking forward to the upcoming filler arc. One, I like it because it's just going to give the anime some breathing room. We're actually going to be able to allow it to sort of build up pace again. You know, when we start the next arc, we're getting really close to where they are in the manga series right now. So this way, maybe the episodes aren't going to move as slow. Who knows how long this arc is going to go on for, but I think it's welcome, and if it's going to tie into the movie, then bring it on. Usually these little tie-in arcs tend to work really well, and they build a lot of hype, and if it can stand on its own, even better. That'll make it infinitely more entertaining. All I know is I'm excited for the unknown. As someone who now reads the One Piece manga series, I know everything that's going to happen, but with a filler arc, I'm completely in the dark, and I have no idea how they're going to make it happen, and honestly, the One Piece filler is not that bad. It's not like Naruto Shippuden bad at all. That's like a completely different league of filler shit. One Piece filler can be pretty damn entertaining, so I'm just trying to be hopeful and keep an open mind about it. What I will say is this week's episode was hype. It was really slow in the first half with all the Dressrosa stuff, but everything else right after that was entertaining as hell and has to get any One Piece fan excited. So I'm going to give this week's episode right here a 4 out of 5. Check it out, One Piece fans. You might see something you like. But if any of you guys did watch this week's episode of One Piece, please tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Were you hyped to see the return of characters like Kaku Spandam and frickin' Rob Lucci? What did you think of the introduction of the character of Jack? And what do you want to see from the upcoming filler arc in One Piece and the rest of the One Piece anime series and beyond? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you for joining me for this review, my Nakama. If you would like to support Super Kami Guru 9000, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, comment on it, and maybe even like the video. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.